Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Fulham about to make bid for Arsenal defender Cedric Soares. Arsenal are set to receive a bid from Fulham for Cedric Soares in the coming days as their Premier League rivals look to win the race for the Portuguese ahead of the January transfer window, according to a report from the Evening Standard. Cedric's departure ahead of next month has been on the cards for a little while. Reports from Tutto Mercato Web in November claimed that the 31-year-old was wanted by Fulham, Atletico Madrid, and Bayer Leverkusen, and his agent had held talks with all three about a potential move. The defender has barely featured for Mikel Arteta's man this season. He has only made 2 appearances in the Premier League, coming off the bench on both occasions. He appears to be well down the pecking order at the Emirates, and it seems that Fulham are now ready to try and seize the initiative in the race. According to the Evening Standard, Marco Silva's men are ready to make a bid in the next few days. They are still deciding whether to make a permanent offer or look to take him on loan with an obligation to buy. The report claims that Fulham are at the front of the queue for the former Southampton man, but Arsenal are likely to hold formal talks with both Atleti and Leverkusen soon. It appears that Cedric's influence will be missed away from the pitch should he leave Arsenal. Obviously, he is not someone who is playing a lot of games for the Gunners right now, but Arteta must value his presence, and he may conflicting feelings on the idea of letting him go in January. He is a fantastic professional who pushed those in front of him in the pecking order. You can understand why Fulham may be so keen to bring him in imminently. Odegaard discusses what it feels like to play for Arteta. Martin Odegaard has been one of the most improved players under Mikel Arteta, and the Norwegian is enjoying life in London. Mikel Arteta has made him the team's captain and continues to back the midfielder to reach new levels as a player. Arteta in his first senior managerial job and has been among the finest in European football this season. He is doing a superb job in helping young players lead Arsenal towards an unlikely Premier League title win. What does it feel like working with Arteta? Odegaard was asked this question, and he tells 442 the following. Every day I am learning something new. There are so many details, body position, how to control the ball, and it helps us improve. He is not just telling everyone what to do, he is teaching us why. It helps the team to understand and to improve. Odegaard is one player Arteta trusts, so the Norwegian has been able to enjoy the best of the Spanish manager, which qualifies him to answer this question. Arteta's main management is one reason many players want to work with him, and we can expect him to continue developing the talents we add to his squad. Romano says Arsenal are still interested in midfielder Danilo. Fabrizio Romano has told Give Me Sport that Arsenal remain admirers of Danilo, having followed the Brazilian youngster for some time. The Gunners are threatening to be incredibly busy during the January transfer window. They are reportedly working on a deal for Mykhaylo Mudryk. Meanwhile, they have also been linked with Joao Felix, but they are also looking to sign another midfielder. Previously, it appeared that they were very keen on Palmeiras starlet Danilo. The 21-year-old could potentially become one of the latest Brazilian talents to end up at the Emirates. However, more recently, it has appeared that Arsenal may not be planning a move after all. Brazilian outlet Lance reported earlier this month that the Gunners' interest in the £26.5 million rated midfielder had completely cooled, but it would seem that he does remain on Arsenal's radar. Romano has now claimed that the Gunners are still admirers of the player. He told Give Me Sport the following. There are many names on the list, including Danilo of Palmeiras, a player they have followed for a long time, but at the moment there is still nothing advanced. Arsenal are in a strong position when it comes to sign another midfielder. Their key players in the middle of the park, Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka and Martin Odegaard, have been absolutely outstanding. They do not necessarily need more quality this season, but additional depth would not go amiss. And in that sense, Danilo would have the potential to be a really smart signing. He would have time to adapt, and he would not need to hit the ground running if he ended up in North London. Arsenal may have reservations about spending some of their budget on someone who may not play a huge role initially, but if the chance presents itself and does not harm their chances of signing their top targets, perhaps they will look to secure his signature in the coming weeks. Arsenal is still considering making a move for Jonathan David. Arsenal has been long-term admirers of Lille striker Jonathan David and is still interested in adding him to their squad. According to reports, the Canadian was a key man for his country at the World Cup and continues to show why he is one of the coveted men in European football. Lille knows they have a top player on their hands, and it's only a matter of time before he will be signed by one of Europe's best sides. A report on Vigages.net reveals Arsenal remains in the running for his signature, and they will look to sign him when he becomes available to leave League One. David has been in fine form over the last few seasons and is one young striker that can deliver for clubs at the top level. We have very good attackers on our team now, and Eden Ketia is having a good time, having come in to replace the injured Gabriel Jesus. It makes little sense to add David to our squad now, and we must be sure he has the qualities to play alongside our other players and in a front two before we add him to the group. Arsenal could land Alexis Mac Allister for £35 million. Arsenal have been linked with Argentina international Alexis Mac Allister in recent weeks. Earlier this month, as claimed that the Gunners have set their sights on the Brighton and Hove Albion star. As well as Arsenal, Tottenham are apparently in pursuit of Mac Allister too, as per L'Interista. Now Argentine outlet TYC Sports has reiterated that the Gunners want to sign the 24-year-old. They claim that Arsenal are vying for Mac Allister alongside Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. However, they also played down a potential January move for the 2022 World Cup winner. The only way Mac Allister would be moving next month is if the club agrees to it, and the implication is that Brighton won't look to do so until the summer transfer window at the earliest. TYC Sports also claims Mac Allister has a price tag in excess of €30 million. Meanwhile, Goal.com reckon the Seagulls wouldn't want less than €40 million, £35 million for their player. Mac Allister's stock has risen manifold over the past few weeks thanks to his efforts at the World Cup. He bossed the midfield in the final against France and provided a superb assist for Angel Di Maria. Arsenal appear to be focusing on Mykhaylo Mudryk in January, but looking towards the summer window, maybe they will try properly for Mac Allister. Romano reacts to reports Arsenal have held talks over Milinkovic-Savic. Fabrizio Romano has told the House of Champions podcast that Lazio sources have told him that they expect Arsenal target Sergei Milinkovic-Savic to stay until the end of the season at the very least. The Gunners are stepping up their push to strengthen their squad in January. They are reportedly working on a potential deal for Mykhaylo Mudryk, and it seems that they are also looking at potential signings in the middle of the park. Reports from Corriere dello Sport have claimed that Arsenal are in pole position to sign Milinkovic-Savic. They have been in contact with his agent about a potential deal for the Lazio star. His representatives apparently believes the Serbia international is worth around £44 million. The report suggested that the 27-year-old has changed his mind on the idea of potentially joining Arsenal, having previously rejected Mikel Arteta's man. Romano was asked about the possibility of Milinkovic-Savic leaving Rome in one of the coming windows. The transfer guru insisted that there have been no offers from the Premier League leaders, and he also suggested that any supporter hoping to see him rock up at the Emirates in January is set for disappointment. He told House of Champions the following: "It's not an easy one at all to sign Milinkovic-Savic in January. I was speaking to Lazio sources a few days ago, and they are 100% convinced that the player will stay there at least until the end of the season. Then he is out of contract next year, 2024, and this is why there are many rumors around Milinkovic-Savic. They have not received any approach from Arsenal or any other club. There is always a feel around a transfer which provides the slightest hint to outsiders regarding whether it will be possible or not. For many, the Mudryk move seems entirely possible with Arsenal already making a bid, and he has made no secret of his admiration for the Gunners. Signing Milinkovic-Savic, however, seems a much taller order for Edu and Arteta. He is one of the most informed midfielders in Europe right now. Lazio are going to do all they can to keep him next month, and even if they received a world record sum, there are no guarantees that they would be able to find a way to replace him. So surely, this is one of those moves that will be on the back burner until the summer. But if Arsenal go on and win the title, their chances of securing his signature will surely increase significantly. Fabrizio Romano shares a fresh Enzo Fernandez update. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea and Newcastle United are just some of the clubs reportedly eyeing Enzo Fernandez. Odegaard recently reported that the Reds had priority over the Benfica and Argentina star. However, the likes of the Gunners, the Red Devils and the Magpies have also been linked. It's little surprise that so many Premier League clubs are said to be in pursuit of Fernandez. The 21-year-old won the Best Young Player award at the World Cup, which he helped the Albiceleste win. Fernandez looked set for a more peripheral role in Qatar. However, by the end of the tournament, he had become a key man for Lionel Scaloni's men. Now with the January transfer window looming, the youngster will be a player in demand, with elite clubs seemingly circling ahead of a potential move. Fabrizio Romano has now issued a fresh transfer update relating to Fernandez amid reported interest from the likes of Liverpool. The transfer insider has actually poured cold water on links between the Anfield outfit and the Argentina star. Indeed, Romano also played down any suggestions of Chelsea having triggered Fernandez's release clause. This, in turn, will likely come as a boost for the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United and Newcastle United. While the race for Fernandez may be open, it won't be an easy one to win by any means. Benfica hold virtually all the cards, with a £105 million release clause and a contract until 2027. Fernandez would no doubt be an incredible addition for any leading Premier League team. However, the likelihood is that such a huge signing may not be a possibility until this summer. Nonetheless, it will be exciting to see which club can go on to win the race. Arsenal now make their move over signing Joao Felix. Arsenal are looking to make additions to the squad in January to keep their unlikely title bid on track. The Daily Mail now believe Arsenal want Joao Felix on loan and have made an inquiry to sign the forward. There has been plenty of interest in Felix over the last few weeks from Premier League sides. Newcastle have held talks with Felix's agent, while Chelsea have also been considering a move. The special striker could give Arteta another option in attack and take some of the pressure off Nketiah. The report suggests that a loan move for Felix wouldn't be cheap for the Gunners. They believe any deal would include an £8 million loan fee for Felix's 6-month spell at the club. Arsenal would also be responsible for covering all of his wages, which would cost around £250,000 a week. The forward has only started 5 league games this season, but has scored 3 goals and provided 3 assists. He impressed for Portugal at the World Cup, scoring against Ghana, and looks set to be one of the players who will be tasked with replacing Cristiano Ronaldo for the national team. Arsenal may want to make an inquiry for Felix in case they can't complete a deal to bring in Mykhaylo Mudryk. The Ukrainian is Arsenal's number 1 target in January and have already made a bid for the winger. A report from 90 Minutes suggests the Gunners are confident that they will get their man next month. An Arsenal side containing both Felix and Mudryk would be a seriously exciting prospect. The Athletic's David Ornstein has hit say on links between Arsenal and the Portugal ace. He said on NBC Sport the following: "They are also keen to sign Joao Felix on loan from Atletico Madrid. He's been offered to a number of clubs, but at the moment, the numbers are too high. Jorge Mendes, his agent, knows he needs to move because he is out of favour at Atletico. Arsenal are keen to do it, but the numbers would need to come down for that to happen, and I think probably they will. it would only be a 6-month loan, and that's going to be very expensive, but he is a high quality player. Shakhtar drop asking price for Arsenal target Mykhaylo Mudryk. Shakhtar Donetsk have lowered their asking price for Mykhaylo Mudryk to around £80 million, but 90-minute reports that Arsenal are still unlikely to meet those demands for the Ukraine international. Things appear to be moving quickly when it comes to Mudryk's future. The Gunners have made an opening bid worth £55 million for the 21-year-old forward. However, Shakhtar have snapped that offer. They had been looking for around £100 million for the youngster, but it would appear that they are already prepared to compromise on the price with a deal worth up to £80 million now considered acceptable. According to 90 Minute, that would involve a £60 million upfront fee with a further £20 million in add-ons. The report suggests that Arsenal remain hopeful and confident of doing a deal for Mudryk during the January transfer window, but they are still not prepared to meet the new price for the starlet. There is an incredibly long way to go before the deadline passes, so with that, it would appear that there is a very good chance that Arsenal will indeed bring Mudryk to the Emirates at some stage in the coming weeks. Arsenal are continuing their talks in their bid to sign the incredible forward, and Shakhtar have shown that they are already prepared to drop their asking price. Mudryk, meanwhile, is thought to be keen to make the switch, which will surely help. The Gunners have an amazing opportunity this season that only increases the likelihood of Edu and Mikel Arteta sanctioning a big money move in the upcoming window. It's smart to see how far Shakhtar are willing to drop their asking price, but surely it's a move that is going to get across the line. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.